Hi everyone, this is Eric. Hey, I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about success. And the subject of success permeates everything that we see and hear in the culture we live in today. But I want to talk about it in regards to how it shows up in four key areas. And with the work that I do with Spirit of EQ, we call them success factors. And they're made of four things. The first one is effectiveness. The second is relationships, and then well-being, and then quality of life. I'm a firm believer that success, if it's left just to being looked at from a career or work perspective, can end up ruining you. I lived that a bit some years ago. I used to think that if I was successful in my work and career, that it would translate over into other areas of my life. And I was totally wrong about that. I'm fortunate I got to live to tell, if you will. And then I came to some conclusions along the way that true success is made up of not just my work, but it's made up as a whole. And those success factors inside of our work are really key areas that we measure emotional intelligence in, because emotional intelligence is the driver of what your success level will be in those four areas, and quite frankly, and beyond. But for the sake of this video, it's purely rooted around those four areas. So the first one, effectiveness, is ultimately how good are you at doing what you do day in and day out, and how that measures and how that is shown up. How does it show up in your life? Are you getting things done? Are things moving in the direction that you want? The second one, relationships. Maybe that's an easy one. Everybody craves success in their relationships. Unfortunately, a lot of times it can be left to the dust because so many other things crowd in. And I heard Andy Stanley once say that the reason why sometimes relationships suffer is because it's not real easy to measure progress. We can do that in work, but when you're at home with family, sometimes it's not as easily defined, but it is something that we crave deeply. Emotional intelligence helps us when we grow that to begin to be able to measure in a way that we can say, hey, I'm being where I want to be. It's working as I want it to work. And then we have well-being, something that's maybe to many of you, is obviously near and dear to my heart. And that is, how good are things going? How's my emotional intelligence showing up in my physical, my mental, emotional, spiritual? And how is it driving me toward where I want to be? And quite frankly, it could be, in many respects, the most important one, because it'll be there regardless of where you're at in your career, regardless of how old you are. It's just big. So the last one, quality of life. What's our outlook on our life in general? How do we feel about it? And again, emotional intelligence and the growth of that really, really will define how great your quality of life is. On June 20th, if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area, I invite you personally to come out and join us for a session on success in EQ and how they are intertwined and how you can get better. And in that session, we're going to give you some really tangible ways in which you can take away and apply. I'd really love to see you there, again, if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area. And stay tuned for more, because we're going to continue to unwrap this as we help and as we strive to help you become what you're looking to be. Thanks for tuning in.